Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a new TBR vlog. This one is part 4. We've done pretty good this year getting through several of these books. I have 3 more that I want to get through before the end of the year. Now, I am currently finishing Malazan, which will count towards my TBR going down, but it has its own separate vlog rather than being a part of this vlog. But if you're new here, the whole point of this vlog is for me to read down the books that I physically own. Now, when I say physically own, I don't necessarily just mean like the physical books. Anything that I've purchased on Audible, anything that I have on like ebooks or whatever, all of those count on this list. I currently don't have the list with me, so I will put up the number here for whatever number I'm currently at as of December 1st. Now, my goal for this year is to get down to under 100 books, and I currently have 3 books that we're going to do for this vlog, plus Malazan. So that's 4 books that will be read by the end of the year, or DNF'd or whatever, like 4 books taken off this list by the end of the year. So that's the goal. Now, we are going to be starting this vlog with 10 rules for faking it. And I kind of cheated. I've already started it just a little bit, just a little. Only a couple hours into the audiobook, I was heading to the boyfriend's and I needed something else to read that wasn't just Malazan because it's a tough book to read. So I went ahead and started. Well, this one, we are following this woman named Everly. She works at a radio station and it's her birthday. And she just found out this morning that her boyfriend was cheating on her, like physically saw it with her own eyes that he was cheating on her. Well, then she goes to work and her best friend at work is like the voice for the on-air person, while Everly is the producer. Well, her friend Stacy decides that she's going to sing happy birthday, and in the middle of like celebrating her birthday, Everly like goes on this whole rant about how she hates birthdays and her boyfriend's cheating on her and all these things, and they catch all of that on air. And Everly didn't know that they were live, but they were, and so now the whole city knows about her issues with men and her being cheated on and all that kind of thing. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. When I was originally doing this clip, I had really low phone battery, like it was 9%. Thought I could risk it, you know? My phone died in the middle of my clip. So then I charged it for a few minutes and came back and tried to finish it. And then when I uploaded it to my computer, everything was like up and down. And I'm like, how did we get there? I don't have a clue. But so here we are trying again. Anyway, so as I was saying, we have Everly, and Everly has shared her entire story online, and her boss is wanting to boost ratings in the radio show. So they're going to capitalize on her love life. So they're going to do this whole bachelorette sort of thing where they pick some guys and she dates them for a couple of weeks and then she starts eliminating them. It sounds like a fantastic idea. She also is agreeing because of the fact that she is trying to grow as a person. She's got a lot of anxiety. She doesn't like to do anything bold. She likes to be at home. She doesn't talk to anybody. So she's using this to kind of push herself out of her comfort zone and trying to grow as a person. So who knows how that's going to go. I hope it'll go pretty well for her. I mean, it probably will be a disaster for a while and then it'll go really well. Meanwhile, we have Chris, who is her boss, who is starting to like be a love interest and like take interest in her like pretty quickly. Like he's known her for a little while, but he is leaving. Like he's going back to New York in 6 months. So he's trying not to get involved for that reason and for the fact that he's her boss. But they both kind of like each other, but they have not done anything about it. They've not really said anything about it. They've had some moments so far, but they're all kind of just like tiptoeing around it. So I don't know how they're going to break that barrier, but I'm here for it. But so yeah, that was my clip. I'll keep you updated. Okay, sorry for the angle. I am waiting outside the barbershop for my brother who's getting his haircut, and I have no idea when he's going to come out. So I'm trying to get this clip out before he is out. And I don't want to take time to move the seat back, which all of those things, which I probably could have done in the amount of time it took me to tell you the story, but I digress. Anyways, so I am about to the 75% mark where we have like that, the argument or whatever that causes the breakup or whatever. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the thing that has caused us to have our argument because we are blaming him for something that happened 10 years ago. It was a mistake he made 10 years ago. And we are reading into his entire character because of this thing that happened 10 years ago. Like, that's too long. I think the statute of limitations on stupid mistakes has passed. Granted, the thing that did happen is something that she feels very deeply about, and she is very concerned about his ability to remain in a relationship and be committed and those kinds of things. Like, because of this mistake, she is now questioning his commitment. Understandable. However, she got upset about it before she even asked any questions about how they got there, what happened, all of those things. So she's just mad because of the thing that happened rather than asking questions or digging deeper, seeing his side of things or anything at all. And that's annoying. So annoying. And I was here for the relationship too because like they were literally like touching hands and I'm like, here we go, like super excited about it and like here for it. And then like 5 minutes later, we're mad because he messed up 10 years ago. Like, it doesn't make sense. Not to me. It feels extra. Like we're blowing things out of proportion and they don't need to be, and so that's annoying. Now, granted, I have liked the book up until now. I don't know that it'll ruin the book for me because I mean we have to have some sort of breakup piece, but there's another piece that is great cause for concern and great cause for a breakup and for her to be mad at him. And that piece hasn't come out yet, so I imagine that we're gonna get there. But like that's what I was figuring would be our little breakup thing. But it's not. It's something else, which is stupid to me. But other than that, I really like it. Sorry if the angle changed. My brother came out, and so then we had to like drive, and so now I'm updating you a few minutes later. But so I really like how they portray the anxiety. I really like that she is attempting to be bold. I love stories that are like that coming of age, like we're growing into a new person type of thing. We're learning who we are. I love that. And I also love that it's not just been super easy for her, that she has had to grow and she's had to struggle and she's had to make changes and then sort of backslid and all those things. I really like that piece of it. Just wish that they didn't do this thing. I mean, it's not like the biggest thing as far as like breakups or whatever, but it's been annoying. But I am interested to see how big of a blow up the other thing becomes because I only have a few hours left of this book. Like I think it's a little over 12 hours, and I'm like 10 hours in. So if we're gonna do a third act breakup, like this is it. Unless we're gonna do like this one and then we're gonna do a second one. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I don't know. But we will see, and I will keep you updated. I'm going to the boyfriend's today, so I've got like he moved. So it's like a 2-hour drive now. And so I have a lot of audiobook time to do, so definitely need to get this update done because I might finish this book at some point today. So we'll see. Okay, so I finally finished 10 Rules for Faking It, and I don't really have any more complaints after my last complaint in the last clip. I think it ended really well. I really like the characters. I like their interactions with each other. I think overall it was fine. It's not a romance that I would reread, but I definitely don't have a whole lot of complaints about it. It was perfectly fine. Glad I read it. I think the writing was pretty good. I think the characters were well done. I like the portrayal of anxiety. I don't know if other people would, but I did. Yeah, not really a whole lot to say about it that I haven't already said. The next one that I'm going to be reading is a companion novel in the Juniper Falls series. I don't know. I've got the books 2 and 3, so we're just going to go into the second book and read it. I think these are companion novels, so it doesn't seem to be a big deal if I don't read the first one. So we're just going to go with it and see how it goes. But this one follows these teenagers in this town called Juniper Falls, and the boy is named Fletcher. He's a hockey player, but he's invisible. He sits the bench. He doesn't get a whole lot of playing time. He doesn't seem to be like Mr. Popular. Meanwhile, we have Haley, who is Miss Popular. She's a cheer captain. She is the princess of Juniper Falls, and she seems to have it all together. But meanwhile, she actually doesn't. Her grades aren't doing really well, so she ends up having to go to summer school. And from what I can get on the blurb, that's actually how they meet. So her and Fletcher meet in summer school, and I guess they hit it off in some sort of way. I don't know if it's going to be like instant friends or if they're going to give each other a hard time. No idea. But it definitely sounds like a, cute little coming of age story mixed with a little hockey romance. And we all know that I am here for a hockey romance. So definitely excited about reading it. I have no idea if I'm going to like it. I've never read anything by Julie Cross. So I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if it'll read really young or not. At this point in my life where I'm like 32, um, teenage romances are kind of hit or miss. It really just depends. Lynn Painter does a really good job. So Julie Cross might do a really good job too. Who knows? But I'm going to get started on that one tomorrow. And I'll let you know how it goes in a couple of days. All right, so I am a couple hours into Breaking the Ice, and I don't have like a ton to update on at this point, other than I'm not a huge fan of Haley. And I think it's because she presents as your stereotypical shallow, dumb cheerleader. And I think that that's not the full story for her. I think that there's a lot of room for growth. And I think that there are aspects of her personality that are more complex. Like, she is very high society and like almost like a debutante type of thing of like proper and prim and going to do well in that high society sort of life. She also cusses. Like, she cusses pretty quickly in this book. So we know that she's not fully prim and proper. We also know that she's not perfect because she had to drop a class in order to not get a bad grade in it. So now she's in summer school. All these things. Like, we know these kind of things going in. And I don't know. I just don't connect with her quite yet. I do like her interactions with Fletcher. Fletcher is our love interest. They're not quite there yet, but they're going to get there. Now, Fletcher, I am liking. He is way more complex. Like, he presents to his school as a typical nerdy teenager. He's got t-shirts that say, I'm silently correcting your grammar. Like, nerdy, right? Meanwhile, we think that he's a stripper. He goes out at night and gets drunk at work, and he comes home with like lipstick marks all over his body and underwear in his pocket. Like, what is your job? Like, what are you doing? And so he's complex, and he is interacting with Haley, and he's a little bit more like confident. Like, he presents as like this nerdy type, right? And he's quiet and he likes being invisible, yet she's literally like tapping her pen in class, and he literally grabs her hand and is like, I'm gonna need you to stop. And then she doesn't stop, and so he takes her pen. Like, that's bold. Like, you have to have some confidence in yourself in order to like pull off that kind of move. And so it's so interesting with him so far. We've not had any hockey at all. We've had like one practice, and it was like 5 minutes. That's it. That's all we've had. It's mostly just been them talking about hockey and talking about it. But granted, it is like preseason, so we're not fully into hockey season. So I don't know if we're going to get much hockey in it. If we don't, it's going to be a bit of a bummer. But I'm liking their interactions. I do like Haley's confidence because so she goes over to Fletcher's house and he's asleep. And his grandfather like takes her in the house and she's like standing at his door, like his bedroom door, and he's asleep and she can see him. And the grandpa's like, you're on your own, and like dips. And so she's like by herself. And she is bold and counts all his money because it's like hanging out of his pockets, right? Well, she's sitting in the floor playing with his dog, and he wakes up and she goes and gets him a drink of water and offers to cook him food in his own kitchen. Like, I would never do any of that. I'd be like, okay, he's sleeping, he's not waking up, I'm leaving. That would be me because I'm not that bold and I'm not that confident. So I do like those aspects of her. I just don't fully connect with her yet. And I think that's why I don't really like her yet. But we're still super early. I'm only like 2.5 hours in. I am interested in their dynamic though. We get a lot of like their back and forth already. Like they meet really quick. Like page 1, we are in the back and forth. So I really like that. But I'll keep you updated. Okay, so I've been reading this book, Breaking the Ice, right? I'm probably a little over 60%, I guess. It's fine. It is very high school in that how they're interacting with each other. I don't I don't know how I feel about it like at all. Um we have Haley who is I don't know. I just don't connect with her. And it's interesting because she's sort of confused about her feelings of Fletcher. And Fletcher's doing that whole I don't like people and I'm going to keep you at arm's length sort of thing. And and it's fine in some characters, but I don't know that it works in him. Like I just don't know that it does. And I don't know exactly why. I don't know if it's just because of his reasoning. Because so mild spoiler, okay? When I put my hand down, I'll be done with the spoiler part of it. He has a lot of allergies, right? Well, when he was little in like elementary school, he ended up having a severe allergic reaction to something that he was given. Like he was given some sort of food. I don't even remember what it was. Might have been like some sort of cookie. He was given this food and he had some sort of really bad reaction. Like he almost died, right? And he gets out of school for 2 years, but he thinks that somebody did it on purpose, right? So somebody like tried to kill him when he was in elementary school. It is because of this thing that he's like, I can't be near people. I don't trust people. I don't want to open up to people. Like that I get that thing could have been traumatic. But to completely cut out most people in your life and not do relationships and not get close to people because of this thing, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I'm hoping that there's more to it because at this point in the story, he's not opening up to Haley, which is that's part of my complaint. Okay, so they've not interacted up until the first page of this book. They know of each other, but they don't like interact at all. Well, I guess our story has been over like the course of a week, a couple weeks, maybe. It's summer school, so it's not like it's that long, right? And Haley is like, open up to me, asking him questions, and he's like, butt out, Haley. And then she'll ask more questions and more questions. She'll be like, butt out, Haley. And she gets so mad because he's not opening up to her and not sharing like his thoughts and his feelings and all these things. I'm like, he doesn't know you for one. Like y'all aren't really friends. Like you've talked some in a class, but like that's it. Like he doesn't really know you. So getting upset that he's not opening up to you, it seems that seems high school because why should he open up to you? And she's all like, you can trust me and all these things, and like if you're not gonna trust me, then we can't be friends or what. I don't even know. It was weird. But so why should he trust you? He doesn't know you at all. And so that bugs me because He's a little standoffish, and she's like all mad about it. It also bugs me that he's been like that with her. Like they've had some like decent interactions, like been very civil, kind of flirty a little bit, but then he'll be like butt out and he won't open up to her and she is falling for him. Why are you falling for him? That doesn't make sense. Like I don't know that they've had enough good interactions for her to like really fall for him. Yes, I will give it to her that he's a little bit complex. You know, he has these like t-shirts that are like I'm mentally correcting your grammar. And then he's got this mysterious job where she thinks he's a stripper because he's got money in his underwear and he's got like kiss marks all over his body. And she's like, "You're a stripper." And he's like denying it. So like at this point in the story, like no, I know what it is now, but for non-spoiler sake, we don't know what it is for like the longest time. But so he's a little bit mysterious. He's bolder with her. Like he isn't super shy. Like he doesn't talk a ton, but he has confidence. Like he's not like backwards and like unable to talk to her. Like those kinds of things that you would expect out of sort of your typical nerdy teenager, right? He's not like that. He's a little bit more athletic. He's a little bit more sure of himself and who he is and things like that. But why are you falling for him? Like, I don't understand it. And I don't know why he's falling for her because they've had a few interactions. I mean, she had an allergic reaction to him, or he had an allergic reaction around her, and that was a whole thing. And I don't, I don't know. I just don't get it. And I think that that's part of why it's a little bit meh. And I don't know that a couple months ago this would have bothered me. I think where I'm growing and becoming a little bit more of a critical reader, that's why it bothers me is because I'm not a complainer about instant romance or like fast romance or whatever, but I just don't know that they've had enough interactions for it for them to like be falling for each other. I don't know though. I could be very wrong, but that's just where I'm at right now. And we'll see about this third book. I may see who it's about because it's a companion novel. We'll see. But I am going to start Last Argument of Kings now that I have finished Gardens of the Moon. Um, that's in a different video. So if you haven't seen it in this video, like you're not confused. It's in a whole different video. But I finished that. And so now I have room for another audiobook. And I'm going to start Last Argument of Kings. The Last Argument of Kings is book 3 in the First Law series by Joe Abercrombie. This is where everything kind of like comes to fruition. Everything kind of hits the fan. I've been following this group of characters and they've gone on this like quest to find this seed thing. And they're like, what the heck is this? We don't know what this is. And they're following this wizard cross country. The countries are warring. Countries are warring. And we've got all kinds of soldiers and we've got all kinds of political things happening. And we've got characters that are like moving pieces on the chessboard and we don't know like who's doing what and like who's actually running the show. In this one is where you learn who's running the show and everything kind of like comes together. And let me tell you, Joe Abercrombie, his endings are fantastic. I love his like endings for his trilogies. Oh, Age of Madness, the ending was fantastic. And this one is really good too. This is a reread. I don't know that I've mentioned that, but it is a reread. So I already know like what happens. I just don't fully remember how we got there and all those details. So that's what I'm getting into right now. So I'm loving this reread. I've already read the first 2. And then at the start of the year, I'm hoping to start the standalones and hopefully finish Joe Abercrombie First Law World by the end of the next year. But we'll see. That's a lot. That's another 6 books. So We'll see. But I'm super excited to get started this one. I may start it tomorrow. I got a lot of driving to do this week, so I may start it tomorrow. Okay, so I finished Breaking the Ice, and I figured out why I was having such a hard time with it. And I think it's because I don't root for Haley and Fletcher. Like, I don't see their love story at all. Like, it doesn't make sense to me because I don't feel like they had enough time together to really grow and learn and like appreciate each other and like fall in love. And I know that there are romances that happen really quickly and like I root for a lot of those, but I also just didn't see the chemistry. Like I don't know that they were that great together. I think it was really forced because they were supposed to be opposites, and so I think that it just didn't work for me. I don't know if I've shared in the last clip, but I thought about DNFing. Like, I was not having a great time, really didn't want to continue, but I think I had 3 hours left, like, and that was it. So I went ahead and finished. Um, but it was fine. Like, it wasn't that great. It was mostly about the romance rather than about things that were happening outside of the relationship. Yeah, Haley was dealing with school stuff and learning about her struggles with school and getting some answers there. And Fletch was dealing with hockey, but that wasn't a good portion of the story. So it was mostly just about them falling in love. And I just didn't care. It was because of the fact that I didn't care about this one that I even thought about not even trying the next one at all, which is On Thin Ice. But I read the synopsis, and we are following Jake and this girl, Brooke. And apparently, Jake has, um, he does some stuff, and he ends up having to help coach this up and coming hockey team. And it sounds like Brooke is going to be a part of this team. And so I feel like we might get a lot more of like the hockey stuff and learning about hockey and like the nuances of hockey. And that's why I decided to give it a try, is because I really want that information because I feel like we might get more hockey stuff and I crave some hockey stuff. And it's an 8-hour audiobook, so it's not like it's going to be a huge drain on my time or anything. And I only have one other audiobook that I am prioritizing this month, and I've already started it, so it's not like I'm not gonna finish. So I have some time. Now I have started it, and I don't know, about 15% of the way through, and I already like it so much better. We've got Jake, and Jake is a hockey player. He's a senior, and part of what they do as seniors is they haze the freshmen. And so we're seeing him as he does this hazing ritual that they do every year, and it goes wrong, like very, very wrong. Jake also ends up getting injured in the events that happened, and he's getting ready to deal with the consequences of his actions. That's as far as I'm at. I don't know what all the consequences are. He literally just woke up from the events. So, don't know what else is going to happen there. We're also following Brooke, and Brooke is new to the school. She's from Texas, and we get glimpses of what happened that brought her to Minnesota. Something with her dad. Her dad was arrested. Her mom is now depressed, and they're having to live with grandma. And that's all that we know at this point. She is a dancer, but from the narrative so far, like she's not going to dance anymore, but she's going to join this up and coming hockey team. And that's how she's going to end up meeting Jake, because Jake's going to end up having to help coach the team. And that's kind of how they're going to get to know each other. So I don't know anything yet. I've only seen like glimpses of their interactions because they barely met and they've barely talked. So we don't know much yet, but I'm hoping they have more chemistry than Haley and Fletcher. Okay, so I am almost done with On Thin Ice, and I love it so much more than the last one. I did not like the last one nearly what I like this one. This one is so much better. And I think a lot of what helps is that we're actually following like a serious topic. Like the stakes are a little bit higher. The last one, Breaking the Ice, the stakes weren't very high at all. Like it was just them and their relationship. Whereas like this one, we have Brooke, who is dealing with her dad being in prison, her mom being depressed, and she's moved across the country, which is a tough thing. And she's a new kid and she's trying to like figure out who she is and trying to fit in and all these things, right? Well, we also have Jake, and Jake is a hockey star. And in this town, they have this legacy where the hockey players are kind of treated as gods and they get away with whatever they want. It doesn't matter what they do. They could do horrible, horrible things and they get away with it because they have to play. And Jake is starting to like open his eyes to that culture, and he's starting to think for himself and starting to question how good that is and if that's a good thing and what people are getting away with because of that. And I really like that. I really love the fact that we were delving into a serious topic, and I love when things explore the culture of sports. And I think that it hits harder for me because I coach. That's why Beartown hit so hard for me, is because we delved into that culture of sports and what do we let them get away with, and how much does the impact of our sports heroes and the legacy and the alumni, and how much impact do they have on who we become as people and what we value and what we allow to happen. And I think that that's why this one hit a whole lot more. I'm not even done with it, and it's so good. I am enjoying it so much. I love watching Jake start to like figure out and start thinking for himself, because I mean, when you're given power and you try to use it against each other, when you try to use that against other people, and he's figuring out who he is with that. Like when we start the story, he says jump and they jump, and because they jump, someone gets injured. Like seriously injured. And so he's feeling the weight of that power. I also really like him and Brooke a whole lot more than I liked Haley and Fletcher. I think that all of their interactions between Brooke and Jake have been super healthy and super um slow. Like it's been a much slower burn, and they've actually like taken the time to like get to know each other, and they hang out quite a bit. There was a moment where Jake attempted to sort of like bribe her into silence, but she calls him out on it. And he immediately knows that it was stupid and it wasn't a good move. And they move past that. And that was early on, and everything else has been like super, super healthy. And I like that so much more, like so much more, rather than him being like butt out all the time and like shutting her down and not wanting to talk to her, not wanting to open up, and her still falling for him. You know, like Jake actually like opened up to her a little bit, and they slowly open up to each other. And I love the fact that Jake is super honest with her. Like he finds out some things, like he overhears some things about her, and he is upfront like, hey, I heard these things. I just want you to know that I'm aware of them, but we don't have to talk about them. Like I thought that he was a super, super cool dude, and I really like him. And so I'm so excited for the rest of the story. I can see the path that we're on and like where it's heading, which is predictable in a like that's just where the narrative is going, but it's not a bad thing. Because Jake's gonna confront all of these things that he's been dealing with. And like that's the natural conclusion of the story, is him confronting all of these things in a big way. So I'm really excited about that. And I mean, look, wearing my hockey sweater. So super excited. Okay, so I finished on Thin Ice and I had the best time. I loved it so much. I teared up at the end of the story because it was so good and it just hits. When we talk about culture, and when all of the things kind of like started to hit the fan of how much corruption had been swept under the rug and all the things that these teenagers had been put through for the game and for the team, and oh, it hurt. It hurt my heart. And I was so into it. Listen, so over the weekend, I was on the way back from the boyfriend's, and I was so into this book. I missed my turn. And so I had to like go to the next exit and get off, but it wasn't a big deal. But I was so into the story that I wasn't even paying attention to my exit. And I knew it was closed, but I just completely missed it because the story, I really liked it. I really like this one. I really like Brooke and Jake's relationship. I think they are great together. I really like them. And I really like the conclusion of everything. And I like the dynamics of the town and how everything kind of like hit the fan. And it was great. I really loved it. I am super glad that I continued on with this one. I wasn't going to read it. I was going to DNF the other one, the Breaking the Ice, and then I wasn't going to read this one. But I'm really glad that I didn't hold that book against this one. And I tried this one anyways because this one is so much better. I like this one so much more. So definitely going to have to remember that for the future. But so yeah, that is the vlog. I think my TBR is down to 99 before the end of the year. Although I have ordered Dead House Gates, so that should put my number at 100 to finish the year for my physical TBR, which isn't bad. I will take 100. That's very, very doable. So, but it's not here yet, but it should be here Tuesday. So, definitely going to finish the year with 100 on the TBR. Totally fine. Definitely gives me a good starting point. We got quite a few books down this year, so definitely happy with the progress that we've made. What books are you reading? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.